So hello, we're going to use the long version, so the two of us are going to be moving in and out of the camera. Alrighty? Now be very careful. This is very slick because I haven't cleaned this yet, and you could fall. So welcome. Hopefully we're live. Oh, our door isn't shut. Hopefully we're live on Facebook for our members and friends and family at the Center for Enhancing Abilities. It is Monday, March 30th, at about 10:30. Hooray! We always know we're live and where people are getting us when I see that little eye pop up. So today, we're in our backyard. It's a little cold. We're here for science on Monday morning. So I do believe Kara and Cheryl are watching. So great. So welcome. I have my assistant. Introduce yourself.
I'm Simon.
All right.
AKA Deborah's son.
So I'm not doing coffee today. I'm doing a smoothie. How was the smoothie? Nope. We're going to do safety. Can I have my hammer? This is my very special hammer. Believe it or not.
Stop hammer time.
It's a good one.
Stop.
It's a good one.
Hammer time.
So that's my breakfast. So Simon, you're going to be looking, so from time to time, just make sure you pop your face in. So welcome, everybody. This is Deborah and Simon for the Center for Enhancing Abilities. We're here on a Monday morning. It's a little cold. We should have picked this maybe for Friday. Friday was beautiful for science. And today, we're going to talk about, do you know even? Hey, Stephanie, welcome, and I'm glad you're ready. Hey, I think we got Alex on, if I remember correctly. Alex says hi to you, Simon. So
Hi.
Alrighty. So, please don't do that because I haven't cleaned my back porch yet, and when it rains, a lot of pollen and stuff gets, so you might see us wipe out. Hopefully you won't. Hey, Jamie, what's up? I'm getting messages from all over the place. Alrighty, hold on. So, we are going to be talking about composters and maybe composting on your own. I'm not an expert. I have not had very successful composting. We've had a lot of horror stories. My husband got stung by a bunch of yellow jackets around our composter one time. So you have to be very careful. There's different types of composters. And I've just never had luck. So what we're going to be doing, though, is working on a small container. And we're really going to do it small because I didn't have the container. So if you're interested in learning about composting, and please chime in if you've ever used compost or if you've composted yourself, please let us know. So welcome, everybody. It is science, and we're talking about composting, me and Simon. And we're going to share this. Kara is watching. Good morning. Good morning, Kara. So we're going to take you for a little tour. I'm going to try not to wipe out, and I'm going to show you different composters, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to do our making a small composter. But if you're interested, we will email some instructions, a really good website. You need a container. What's really cool about this is you can reuse a lot of stuff. This is to help Mother Earth and help your garden. And it's a fun science experiment to see if you can actually make compost. Compost is supposed to be rich in like nitrogen and carbon and help your garden grow, your plants grow. As I said, I've never really had a lot of luck, and you're going to be disappointed because I have two composters in my yard. One I've just kind of let sit, and I don't do it properly, so that's probably why. So get a container. This is the idea is you can keep this indoors, your compost container, and you want to go less than 5 gallons because it'll start to smell. So some type of container. We're going to reuse one of my protein shake containers. So what really works, please do not use my special hammer.
There's a bunny.
All right, so there's a bunny in our yard. He'll probably be snatched up by a hawk or something. I don't know. But this is my special hammer, okay? I've had it for years. So a container. Kitty litter, like those big plastic tub containers, are really, really good to use. They'll work well. You can go to Home Depot. Sometimes like those big paint or those hardware bins, anything like that, or a small garbage can. anything like that will work. We're gonna make a really small one because we're gonna try to see if we can do this in record time. So we've got this kind of container. Does it say how much? I don't know how much it is, but get your container. You're gonna need either a drill. We're gonna use a nail and a hammer. Which my lucky hammer. My lucky hammer. This is my special hammer. Whoops. You're gonna need some soil. You can go out into your garden. We're gonna do something bad maybe. We're not gonna use really organic stuff. I've got some extra, I know, some extra potted plants. I'm just gonna use that. I think I'm just gonna use that. And you're going to need some newspaper and some scissors or something like that. Maybe a trowel or a big spoon, something like that. So we're gonna give it a shot, and some food scraps. So let us take you on an awesome ride to our. So Simon, watch out. We don't want to wipe out. Come on. I've almost killed myself going down those stairs. So we're gonna show you two different types of containers. Simon, can you grab that shovel? There is a dead bug on it, so be careful. You're gonna see my messy yard. All right. So I've got a kind of composter that you can put in and it spins. So it's up off the ground. There we go. And we're going to show you the first for free. This is a machine. Yeah, it's called the Earth Machine. And this is, it sits on the ground. You could do this with anything. You can make a compost pile anywhere. The problem is when you have something like this on the ground, you can get like rats, animals, chipmunks, things going around. And just to show you, we've had to block them out. They find a way because you're putting food scraps in. So we're going to try to see what we've got. The idea is compost, if you're using with soil perfectly, you might get, you're going to get some really cool, very rich soil to use. Ooh, and I see some bugs and stuff. So that's the idea. You're reusing, I know, rich in, good morning, Kelly and Nikki P.
Morning.
But if I'm digging in, you can start to see that I'm getting, some good stuff in there. I might still have other things in there. So that is above the ground. But as I said,
just lift it up?
Well, we don't want to make a mess. So maybe we'll come back to it. The other things is, as I said, you have to be careful. He's still in bed. Well, you'll have to punish him for being in bed and make him watch the YouTube video or watch it later. For this type of composter, that's my special hammer. Leave my special hammer alone. I lost it one time and really was just quite distraught. It's made for a lady's hat. So, no, I use it all the time. I've used it since I've lived in this house for like almost 20 years. So this composter is, Simon, can you spin it? Can you spin it for us? Can you spin it? Yeah. The idea is, well, you can spin it around. See if maybe you need some more smoothies. Yeah, there we go. The idea is for compost, you need to turn it from time to time. You need to move the ingredients. So that'll work. This is good. It'll give your kids activities for hours, but it'll also help keep some of the animals out. As I said, you have to be careful. Animals will come in, they're attracted to the smell. So one way to do that is to make sure you're coating things with some soil, some newspaper, some other things to help the process of breaking down. But we found that big problem with, where's my other one? Getting dizzy with other composter. So let's go on. Okay, Simon, thank you. And this one's pretty cool. You can get these on Amazon. You kind of open them up. They have different containers and stuff like that. And you're going to put your food scraps in. That's what we're talking about. You're putting your food scraps in. There is a formula. We probably won't get into it. We'll try to email that to you. There is a formula. But watch out. Don't run up these stairs. You're going to wipe out, man. Oh, well. already have our first injury.
No, well, I hurt my foot.
Oh dear, it's part of the problem. Okay, there we go. Here, step aside for a second so people can see our stuff. As a matter of fact, Simon, I think we're going to leave you here. There we go. Alrighty, so we're going to work on making a very quick, impromptu, small composter for your kitchen. Alrighty? So what we're going to do is, as we said, you're here for science at 10:30 in the morning. Know that's exactly what you wanted to do today. But, oh well. Here we are. So, my smoothie was made with, here, come into the video. How was my smoothie that I made today?
Good.
It was good. It was bananas, strawberries, coconut milk, protein powder, fiber powder, and bee pollen. You didn't know I slipped that in there. Yum, yum. Good extra vitamins.
Isn't that just honey?
No, it's not. It's a different lesson for a different day. So we are... Pew, it still smells pretty good. You're going to get a container. As we said, here, give me my hammer again. Give me my hammer. Come on, give me my hammer. Because Simon... Yeah, give it to me because I'm going to need it in a second.
Oh.
Thank you. Children, they don't listen.
I thought
So he wants this hammer. This hammer, if anybody knows anything about hammers, please let me know. Don't go up and down those stairs. I haven't cleaned off the schmutz. So I got a smaller one. You can use a drill if you have one. My drill is dead. So and I didn't. So we're gonna hammer holes in. Okay, but you can use a drill with like a screw and then drill it out. You could use an ice pick. Try to do it safely. Don't do it like me and risk bodily harm wherever you go. Just saying. So your container, what was recommended to us was no more than 5 gallons if you're keeping it indoors. It's going to smell, and you don't want that. But we want it to work really fast because we want to give you an update. So we're going to pick a very small one. I don't know what this is. Is this even a gallon? I don't know. But we found a plastic container. As I said, kitty litter containers, the ones that are the big plastic buckets, those are awesome. Those make excellent scrap bins because you're going to need maybe another container. And I'm going to so sneeze. My allergies. Hold on. Sorry. I sneezed away. I'm socially distancing. See, I didn't sneeze on Oreo. You might need 2 of these. Or you might want to add your scraps in a little bit at a time, but you can have 2 different containers. Your composter, where it's going to start to work on doing things. And thank you, Kelly. And maybe a closed container. You do want some air to get in your container for your food scraps, because sometimes if you put in a completely closed container, no air, like weird things start to happen. So welcome. I think Bart and Jeter are on. So welcome to science. We are making a small composter for our indoors. We just had a tour of my very messy backyard on the 2 different composters that I have. So, but this one I think will work better because I'm very bad at gardening. I kill like everything. So you have your container, no more than 5 gallons. Pick something small you can put in your house. Then you are going to have, let me get my list here so I don't make sure that I forget anything. We're going to work on holes, so you're going to need some type of drill, a hammer, a pick. This is, kind of dangerous. So I'm going to make some holes. We want to put the holes on the bottom so that moisture, water, wetness can seep down. You don't want it to be this sloshy, gloppy thing. It doesn't really work that way. It needs to drain. There has to be a nice balance of moisture. Simon's going to wipe out, and if I have to go and call 911, just let you know. So what we're going to do is we have our container. I'm probably not using the best tabletop because it's glass. Didn't think this through. Story of my life. So on the bottom of your container, you're going to be putting some holes in. I'm not going to be making huge holes. I don't have a huge one, but you want them enough that some liquid, the excess water can come out. And generally, you're going to want to put them about 2.5 inches apart. So, maybe not doing what I'm doing, I'm going to poke some holes in. So I'm using my very special hammer. She needs a name. Maybe somebody can name her for me. And I'm just going to put them around. Okay. Okay, I've got one hole. I've got, maybe take this off because that is very annoying. Okay, it does work better on a sturdier surface. And when I get it in there, I'm just going to take it out and I'm going to put some more around. Okay, you can use a drill. A drill is probably safer for you to use if you're comfortable with using a drill, but here we go. I figure the positive thing is working outside and it's kind of cold. My fingers are kind of numb, so if I hit them with the hammer, hey Katie, what's going on? I won't feel it. I won't feel it if I hit my fingers until later. So you're working on your holes about 2.5 inches apart. Some of you might say, well, Deborah, what is the exact number? I really don't know. Okay, I think I have a spot that's pretty hard actually to get in my container. There we go. And I might do, so I don't know if you can see it, but I'm starting to put these holes. My holes aren't huge because I didn't want to bring a drill out this early in the morning, but you can see I have them. They're about 2.5 inches apart. Make them big enough. You can, like I said, sometimes a screw with a drill might work really well. So I'm just kind of making my holes a little bit bigger. Making them a little bit bigger. Somebody else is doing some hammering. Maybe I've inspired them. I've got some much more handier neighbors. If you got a bigger nail, go ahead. This is what I had. So, like I said, we're always working with stuff you might have around the house. Should have a hammer. Should always have a hammer. And you should always have... So I don't know if you could see. So definitely my holes are coming through. I should have some of the moisture coming out of my... I hammer like a girl. That was fighting words. The fact that I am a girl that has her own hammer, I think is pretty impressive. You know, I'm a tough lady. I've got the wardrobe for it. So I just didn't want to break my glass table and go to 911. So I'll work on my hammering techniques. So we have holes in. We have Simon floating around the backyard somewhere. And we're going to need Simon in a second because I'm going to delegate. So, yeah, come back. So you've put some holes in your container. Now, you're going to need a tray or a plate or something that when you're putting it in your, I didn't bring a plate because I think you can visualize. When you're storing it, maybe under your sink or in a utility closet or somewhere, you're going to put it on a plate of some sort or a tray so that it, or in a pot or something, so as water is draining, as moisture is draining, it's not making a mess, okay? So that's an added additional thing. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add some soil to it. I'm a little nervous. Here, Oreo, hold on. We're going to add some soil. So I've got some soil with leaves. As I said, I'm not a good gardener. Okay, I got some sticks, probably some rocks in there. So you want to add about 1/2 inch. Could do abuse with it like in Tom and Jerry. Totally. That's from Faith and Caitlin. Hammer safety, all right? Don't run around with a hammer. You might want to hold it like this. Be careful of the edge, the claw, as we like to call it, but just don't run around and don't do that, especially when you're near glass, like Simon was doing about 10 minutes ago. So hammer safety, hammer safety. And I've had this hammer, I think it's starting to come undone. I have a pink one my husband got me for Christmas. This is my girl. But this is for something specific. Different hammer sizes, different hammer heads, different types of claws. They all have a purpose. I don't know. But this one and I have bonded. I don't know what I should call you. I don't know. But I don't know. She needs a name, though. Send me some names. Send me some names. So we're going to add some soil to our compost. This is going to start to help your scraps start to break down. I could have done worms, but I think that would have freaked some people out. So, and I do have worms. I do, in my refrigerator. And if you can figure out why I might have worms in my refrigerator, post that. Let us know if you can figure it out. If you can figure out why there are worms in my refrigerator. I'm not very happy about it, but so we're going to add some soil. You can go in your yard. I'm taking like some old potted plants that I had that died. Maybe that's not a good idea, but a little bit of soil. Do I fish at all? My husband does, and hence the worms. Since he's got a little bit of time, since he's closer to home, because he's working from home, he can run to, in my backyard, there's a creek or a brook. I don't know. Does anybody know the difference between a creek and a brook? Let me know. Because when I first moved into my house, many moons ago, there was an old gentleman, an elderly gentleman of the neighborhood, came up to us. He was about 90-some years old, and he said, "Hey, you live near Muddy Creek." But when I go over into Pearl River, I look on there's a Muddy Brook Cafe, and when I look at the maps, it says Muddy Brook. So we've always been calling it Muddy Creek, or Crick. So tell me the difference between a creek and a brook. But I think it's brook, Muddy Brook. So we're going to put about a half an inch. Okay, so I'm just going to show you inside. It's all going to, but you want to put on the bottom about a half an inch, If you don't like to get your hands dirty, I understand that. I dye my hair a lot, so my hands are always kind of stained, but, and I do a lot of art stuff. So to me, dirty hands, except if it's got a virus, I suppose, I think are kind of healthy. I don't know. So you're going to put about a half an inch on the bottom of your got the manners of, so here we go. I just want you to, what's happening back there? I can't know if I can see him. Yeah, I don't know where are you? Oh, you're over there. You're over there by our herb garden, which like died. Okay. So, you've got your soil in there. Now, we are going to work on shredding some newspaper. Yeah, you want some newspaper. And I don't know if anybody knows why. Hello, I think Alona is watching. Hello. So, in your, there's kind of this formula of, in your composters, this kind of balance or this formula of nitrogen and carbon. That you need them both to work. So also the newspaper, though, I always thought it helped contribute to that balance. But what it really does is also helps moisture. You don't want too much moisture because it'll make like mold and weird things, and it'll smell terribly. So the idea is the process works dry. So what we're going to do is you're going to take some newspaper. Once again, it sounds like I'm really trashing the newspapers that are left, those sales or whatever. I don't know if a lot of people get newspapers anymore. But if you do, or you go to the edge of your driveway, you're going to make some newspaper scraps. So you're going to need some newspaper and some scissors. So I'm going to be cutting in strips. Okay, Oreo is helping me. I'm going to be cutting in strips. And then I think I'm going to cut up those strips some more. So this is fun. You can tear it if you like. Should have done a little bit more organized. But we're gonna do some strips. So you're just gonna come in here, and if I can convince Simon, whoop, Wario had too much smoothie. What you're gonna do when they come for you, bad boys, we're just gonna kind of cut some of this into smaller pieces. And I find when I've composted, it doesn't work well when I stick big pieces of stuff. And I've done that. I've made all the mistakes. Like, I'm too lazy. I think I've stuck like a whole pineapple in my composter. Not a wise thing to do. It just takes longer. So when you're working on this, you're going to work in smaller pieces. It'll go much faster for you to break down, to make this, what is it called, black gold? The idea is you're going to have this very rich, nutrient-rich soil. So we've made some newspaper scraps. That'll help absorb the moisture. Newspaper's really good for that. Alrighty. So now we've added our soil, about a half an inch of our soil in there. In the famous words of Hagrid, the difference is in the spelling. Yes. Yes. That is true. So I'm going to put some scraps in. Not a lot, but just kind of covering. I don't know if it'll hold. See? Just laying some newspaper scraps for you. Okay? Now is the fun part. So you would put this aside, you would put it on your plate, on your tray or your plate somewhere, and you'd hold this along. And then let's say you're making dinner, which a lot of us have been doing a lot of cooking, and you may be working with like onions or especially vegetables. You're not going to put meats. You're not going to put meats. You're not going to put any waste products, you know what I mean? So we're going to keep this clean. We're going to keep it clean. That's going to add a whole different problem to it. So we're really working more on vegetable scraps, okay? So if you're making your vegetable stew or soup or whatever you're making, and you have the tops of carrots, you have some celery bits, you have the onion skins, you're peeling your apples, and you've got all that stuff, you're going to use that stuff. So for our purposes, I have a little bit of banana peel. I think you can use bananas. I don't know. I've always done it. Please let me know. But whatever your vegetable scraps, you can use eggshells as well. I crush them up. So what I'm going to do is, you can do this while you're cooking. I'm just going to make them a little bit smaller. Some people say, wow, this is a lot of work and it seems like a big pain in the tush. It might be. It might be. There's a reason why we specialized as humans in different services. If you had me as a farmer, it's not going to work. Okay, you're all... I dropped a banana peel. That's not good. So you're going to cut these up nice and small or chop them up. Or while you're working on dinner, just make sure they're kind of small. That will help you. Because I've even noticed that. I've thrown in like entire plants. I've done some weird stuff. As I said, a pineapple head. But yeah, we're coming up to Easter and Passover. So we're going to be making a lot of egg recipes. So as you're peeling, as far as I know, I've always thrown in the dyed ones. I don't know. I don't do like certified organic or something like that. So what you're going to do is you're going to add your different vegetable scraps in there. But as I said, no meat products. I wouldn't put bones. I wouldn't put meat. That one is going to make a really foul smell. And if you were working outside, it's going to really attract animals. So as I showed you on the back of my composter, somebody found a way to make a hole in there, and you don't want a lot of animals going into you. It attracts. As I said, as you can see, I live kind of by a wooded area, and I think Simon he's totally taken off. I don't know what's going on, but don't do those types of things. You don't want to put dairy products in. These are just, think of it in terms of vegetables. Let's just work on vegetables, okay? So as you're working, and you might have a separate container or bowl that you kind of loosely cover there. And here's my bananas. And if somebody says, no, Deborah, never put bananas in. Okay, let me know why. That's what I had. I had a banana, so I did that. As I said, I make lots of mistakes in this. You're also going to take a little bit more of your newspaper scraps too, and you're just going to mix them up. You're going to mix them up. Oh, goodness. You're going to mix them up a little bit. So, from time to time, that'll help absorb the moisture, okay? Because you don't want a lot of mold and things like that. So let's say you get your little container here. You say, hey, that's pretty good. You're going to put it into your composter at some point. Okay, so we're putting it in. We're putting our scraps in, our food scraps. And we're going to add that to our composter. And then when your composter, you might want to add at a certain point. Here we go. Okay, I've got a little bit more soil. As it's working, you're going to add a little bit more soil. Okay, just a little bit more soil as it gets full. We don't have it full, so but we're going to pretend. So I've got more dirt over here. So you're going to add some more dirt to it. Okay. What? I've already was supposed to need you. You were supposed to cut the newspapers, but you totally you were a lazy bum and totally took it. So maybe we can have you add a little bit more scoop of dirt.
Okay.
All right. So here, just watch out. So Simon will put another. There's nobody in the neighborhood. How could you not hear me? My neighbors must think I'm a kook out here. Well, they probably think I'm crazy for other reasons too. All right, so we've got this. So imagine we've been doing this wonderful stuff and it's all filled. All right, it's filled. So, okay, we're going to cover this. All right, we're going to cover this. It's got some air coming through and it's got some moisture coming out. Eventually what will start to happen is it will turn into everything will start to break down and turn into soil, which is really cool. Depending on the size of what you did, the area, I think it takes longer when it's very, very cold. So the heat, there's different factors that happen. It would take some time. So as your container gets filled, and then you finally put a little bit of layer of that soil on top, a little bit of newspaper on top, give it about a week, and then you can come back and you want to let it sit for about a week. And then you can also, when you're using it, or from time to time you need to, maybe you stir it up and let it sit. You can take a look and see, did it work or not. And once you've noticed, if you started to, and we'll go back one more time. Hey Oreo, how's it going? I'll get myself a little wet, I guess, sitting on the ground. All right, Simon, we're going to open up that composter again. Yeah, you can see my backyard. We're going to go back to the composter. Oh, there's pieces. Oh, well. Oops. So, I still think I have some things that didn't work. See, this was kind of a big piece that didn't work. But the idea is, alrighty, there we go. Let's see. Oh, I still got some eggshells and stuff in there. There's some rocks. But the idea is you're going to get this very nutrient-rich soil. Yeah, I think these are Easter eggs from last year. Yeah, see what happens if you don't make it small enough. It takes a much longer time if it's not in the right conditions. The stuff will just sit there. But eventually all this stuff should break down. And let's add some of this wonderful dirt to our composter. All right? That one, as I said, it's harder. You have to turn it. And if some of you are asking, that is the outside of the but when you have an upstanding one, you can turn it regularly. That'll really help. And you can, sometimes they have dividers. Oh, there's some interesting things in my yard. If you want to see, let's see how we have this here. We've got a huge chipmunk hole. Hi, guys. Science is fun. It is. So we're going to add this to our composter as well. This is some of our dirt that we did. And there we go. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about something else that's going on. So I'm going to add this in to my composter. So hopefully, there we go, my little mini composter. This is going to take a while. This isn't going to be ready by tomorrow. It's going to take you a while. As a matter of fact, when it's full, you really got to give it like a good week to sit there. All right? Make sure you get your plate. So that is your mini composter. You must have something in your house to do. You can do all different types of composters. You can get pallets, you can get wiring, you could just stick stuff in the corner of your yard. As I said, those types of things I'd be concerned about because they could attract a lot of animals. And you don't want that. Ones that are laying flat on the ground also can attract yellow jackets or like ground, I don't know what you call them, like wasps or bees that like, I think yellow jackets definitely like to make their nests in the ground. And that was quite, it's funny now. It wasn't funny at the time. So when my husband got attacked by a bunch of bees. But hey, that's part of homeownership and stuff like that. Coming up, what we've got is later today, we've got Lunch Bunch, we've got music today. Our schedule for the week has been posted and has been emailed, especially to Bergen members. Another thing that we're working on, two things this week, is a Zoom trivia night on Wednesday night. So we'd like you to do that. I'm going to work on sending you an email of the invitation so you can join in. But I've asked people also to send me your mobile phone, like your cell number, because if we're on and you can't get in, then I can text you as well. I can text you right while we're on. So we're going to need some patience as we all try to get on. I'm going to maybe do a parent kind of ask me any questions night, or if people have questions, Tuesday night before, so that might help us do a dry run. So you might see an invitation for that. I'm hoping for that. And also, I'm starting up Google Classroom for us. So there's currently a class. It's not a very in-depth class. It's an assignment. It's really more for activities if you're interested in something. So I'm just kind of, I'm not technologically, here, hold on, Oreo. I'm not technologically bad, but I'm just not used to, oh, you're cold. Let's rock and roll. Yeah. So we're going to try to do something like that. So you might see different types of assignments from different instructors as well. Not everybody is good as videos, or they feel a little nervous, or some of their projects might be a little bit more difficult. So I put the link in on our Facebook page, and I'll try to send that to everybody as well. So you might see some activities there. I tried 2 different classroom sites. I think Google Classroom is the easiest for us to do. So if you go on and you scroll down, you might see a link, and there is an assignment. There is an assignment there. It's really more of us just kind of connecting and distraction. See if you can follow some basic instructions. It is a scavenger hunt of some sort that you can do within your house, or I guess outside. So I encourage you to pull it up, look at it, and print it as well. So for our science class, we were working on composting. We'll share a link to how to compost. Oh, you're totally, thank you for watching. I mean, it would be kind of sad and pathetic if nobody watched, which is the story of my life. But yeah, no, this is a wonderful way for us to connect and do kind of cool things. Videos are always being uploaded to YouTube as well. So sometimes it's hard to find them in the Facebook links later on. So you can always go to YouTube, check out what's there, rewatch them if you're following along for an art class. So This was science. I don't know where Simon went. I think anything, he never wants to go outside, anything to avoid schoolwork. So look for Google Classroom. Look for the trivia night on April Fool's. I pity the fool that's not there. Let's try it. It's going to be a little bumpy till we're all on. But, and we've been trying to upload the same time. It was nice to be, yeah, thank you, Jamie. Thank you. I think the landscapers, my husband and I broke many lawnmowers. Yeah, because apparently you have lawnmower maintenance. You're supposed to drain the gasoline during the winter. We didn't know that. So we finally just gave up. Gardening is not my strength. And don't mess with Trudy. Her name is Trudy. She's been named. I dubbed the Dame Trudy. Being outdoors is really helpful. It is a little cold out here. I should have had my coffee, but I had my smoothie. And we just want everybody to know it's tough staying indoors. But we'll get through this. We'll get through this, and we'll be back together very, very soon, I hope. Very soon might depend on what your thing of time is, but it's going to be a little bit longer. We're closed this week until we can get the go-ahead to open. But this is really to keep all of us healthy and help our hospitals and doctors and first responders and food stores, that if we get too overwhelmed with illness, we won't be able to do anything. So your job is to help save the earth, help work on protecting her. Start learning about composting. You'll get the link. You'll get all that stuff in an email, so you too can do it at home. These are things you should have a Trudy at your house, or a hammer. You should have newspaper. Yes, we will all survive. We are definitely stronger. We're stronger than we give ourselves credit. Very good point, Kelly. Absolutely. But it helps that we have each other. I think that's good. So we know that we're not alone in doing this. And so remember, lunch bunch at 12:30. Get your lunch ready. And music at 10:30. I have no idea what's tomorrow. I think art. So I will sign off for now. Let you guys get on with maybe checking out Google Classroom to see our first assignment, and we'll make them a little bit better as we go on. You should be getting an email invite too as well. Alrighty. See you guys later. Bye. Have fun composting.